What if the wheel was never invented? Or if fire was never tamed? We often view history as a slow, steady crawl, but in reality it as a series of explosive crossroads, singular moments where a new tool or idea didn't just make life easier. It changed what it meant to be human. Long before the first city was ever built, humanity faced its very first crossroad. The control of fire. It was our first leap into chemistry. Fire provided warmth and protection, but its most profound impact was biological. By cooking food, our ancestors unlocked more calories with less effort, fueling the incredible growth of the human brain. Parallel to fire was the stone tool. When an early human first chipped a piece of obsidian to create a sharp edge, they invented the world's first extra-biological organ. We no longer needed claws or sharp teeth. We had innovation. We could create our own advantages. These tools weren't just for scraping hides. They allowed for the hunting of massive animals like mammoths and the processing of new materials, setting the stage for humanity's first great migration out of Africa and across the globe. For millennia, human civilization was limited by the strength of its own two legs. Then, around 3500 BCE, in ancient Mesopotamia, the wheel emerged. But here's a fascinating twist. It wasn't first used for transportation. Its first job was to help potters shape clay. It was a tool for art and industry. But once someone flipped it on its side and attached it to an axle, the entire world shrank. Suddenly, you could move surplus grain from a bountiful harvest, enabling larger populations and the birth of cities. You could haul massive stones, leading to the construction of incredible monuments like the pyramids and Stonehenge. The wheel set in motion long-distance trade, connecting distant communities like never before. At the same time, a similar revolution was happening on the water. On the Nile River and the Persian Gulf, the sail was being harnessed. If the wheel conquered the land, the sail conquered the horizon. These weren't just boats anymore. They were vessels of exploration and connection. This combination of wheel and sail linked disparate cultures, exchanged goods and ideas, and began the first true era of globalization, thousands of years before the word was even invented. Let's fast forward to the 15th century. Picture a world where knowledge is a luxury. Books are incredibly rare, painstakingly handwritten by monks, and locked away in cathedrals and monasteries. Access to information was controlled by a tiny elite. Then, a man named Johannes Gutenberg perfected his movable type printing press, and everything changed forever. This was the internet of the 1400s. For the first time, ideas scientific, religious, and political could be mass-produced, and spread faster than any king or pope could suppress them. Martin Luther, S95 thesis, which sparked the Protestant Reformation, went viral thanks to the printing press. The lost knowledge of ancient Greece and Rome was rediscovered and disseminated, fueling the Renaissance. Scientific breakthroughs could be shared, critiqued, and built upon, laying the groundwork for the scientific revolution. Now, we arrive in the 18th century. For all of human history, the pace of life was dictated by the sun, the seasons, and the power of muscle, wind, or water. Then, James Watt refined the steam engine, and the heartbeat of the world changed from a biological rhythm to a mechanical one. The ticking of the clock became the new master. Steam-powered factories drew millions of people from the quiet countryside into bustling, chaotic urban centers. This migration created the modern city as we know it, with all its opportunities and challenges. Steam-powered locomotives that thundered across continents and steamships that crossed oceans, making the world reachable in weeks instead of months. But this incredible new power also brought a darker side. It marked the beginning of large-scale environmental change and raised complex new questions about labor, wealth, and inequality that we are still grappling with today. Imagine a world that plunges into darkness the moment the sun sets. A world where work and social life are dictated entirely by daylight. This was reality for almost all of human history. Then came the mastery of electricity. While we often credit Thomas Edison and his light bulb, the true revolution wasn't just the bulb, it was the grid. the network that brought power into every home. Nikola Tesla's alternating current system made it possible to transmit electricity efficiently over long distances, turning the dream into a reality. Electricity didn't just light up the night, it extended the human day. It became the invisible lifeblood of modern society, powering everything from the first telegraphs that sent instant messages across oceans to the refrigerators that kept our food safe and transformed our diets. It created a 24/7 world, leading to a massive spike in productivity and a total reimagining of domestic and industrial life. Our final crossroad brings us to the modern era. In 1947, at Bell Labs, 3 scientists invented the transistor. It was small, silent, and on its own, quite unassuming. But this tiny device was the seed of the digital age. It replaced bulky, unreliable vacuum tubes and allowed for the creation of the integrated circuit, or the microchip, the brain of the modern world. The microchip is what allowed us to shrink computers from the size of entire rooms to devices that fit in our pockets. But these powerful little machines truly changed the world when they were linked together via the internet, a project that started as a military communication network. Together, the microchip and the internet created a global nervous system. Information became instantaneous and universally accessible. We shifted from an economy of physical goods to an economy of data, where the most valuable resource is no longer gold or oil, but information itself. So where do we go from here? Today, we stand at a new junction, perhaps the most profound one yet. Artificial intelligence and quantum computing, like fire, the wheel, and the printing press before them. These are not just tools. They are technologies that will fundamentally reroute our collective destiny, challenging our definitions of intelligence, consciousness, and reality itself. As we look back at these pivotal sparks of the past, we realize a powerful truth. Human history is not defined by what we are, but by what we create. Each invention was a crossroads, a choice to step into a new, unknown future. And the journey is far from over. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey through history fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to join us for our next exploration. See you next time.